Hey everyone, welcome! Whether you're joining us for the first time or you've been with us before, we're glad to have you here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. In the darkness of night, the skies over Israel blaze in flames above Tel Aviv. Missiles streak through the air like meteors. Beersheba is on fire. Haifa is choking on smoke. Eshkol is in ruins. Meanwhile, in Tehran, fireworks light up the sky. People cheer and wave victory flags. Over 250 Iranian missiles and drones hit the heart of Israel's defense systems. Microsoft offices in Beersheba are reduced to rubble. A hospital is evacuated in panic. The Ashdod port and a gas station in Ashkelon erupt in flames. The area near the Dimona nuclear reactor shakes with a massive explosion. The Iron Dome and other air defenses are overwhelmed. The attacks come from multiple directions at once. Israel is under siege, and the world is silent. Back in Jerusalem, Benjamin Netanyahu stands at the podium. His voice echoes with confidence as he declares, "This is a historic victory. We have destroyed their nuclear program." He firmly claims that the existential threat from Iran is gone and that Iran's nuclear and ballistic missile programs are now buried underground. Two countries, two narratives, one conflict that has redrawn the map of global power. This isn't just a war of weapons, it's a war of pride. A war of perception. And on that day, after 2 weeks of intense fighting that shook the Middle East, the skies over Tehran were filled with fireworks. In Jerusalem, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu appeared once again on television, announcing a major victory over Iran. Two nations, two stories, one unresolved war. Let's rewind to Tehran. Thousands of Iranians poured into the streets, celebrating what they saw as a symbolic victory over Israel and the U.S. According to Al Jazeera and Reuters, a formal ceasefire between Iran and Israel came into effect on June 25, 2025, ending a 12-day war that killed over 1,000 people. But in Iran, no one talked about peace. What they declared was victory. From Qom to Esfahan, crowds flooded the streets holding banners that read "Victory through resistance." They sang revolutionary songs and lit fireworks. Some waved pictures of Ayatollah Khamenei, calling him a symbol of resistance. Others held photos of the IRGC commander killed in an Israeli airstrike. Iranian state media like Iranian and Tasnim broadcast footage of the Martyr and K-Bar missile launches, hailing the attack on Israel as the first strategic success that restored national confidence after decades of sanctions and threats. On the flip side, Netanyahu pushed a completely different story. On June 24th, just 1 day before the ceasefire, he declared that Israel had achieved a victory that would be remembered for generations. He insisted that the two major threats from Iran, the nuclear program and the missile arsenal, had been completely destroyed. "We've crushed Iran's nuclear program," he said, "and if they try to rebuild, we'll destroy it again." Netanyahu also credited the United States, especially for the precision airstrikes on Iranian nuclear facilities in Fordo, Natanz, and Esfahan. He praised former President Donald Trump as Israel's greatest ally and called the outcome a triumph of joint military and diplomatic effort. But beyond these official narratives, the reality is more complicated. Iran's government claimed its retaliatory attack shook Israel's defense system. They pointed to the direct hits on Tel Aviv, Beersheba, and Haifa, citing real damage, injuries, and mass panic as evidence of success. Iran's newly elected president Ayatollah Pezeshkian praised the resilience of his people, saying, "The world saw today that the Iranian people cannot be forced into submission by military power." A message not just to Israel but to Washington as well. Netanyahu, meanwhile, held firm to his stance. Israel has never had a better friend than President Trump. He emphasized that Iran's nuclear facilities are now buried under 30 floors of rubble and warned that any future attempt to revive them would be met with instant Israeli retaliation. However, on-the-ground facts don't always match up with what's said from the podium. A U.S. intelligence report stated that the attacks on Iranian nuclear facilities only delayed uranium enrichment by a few months. There's no hard evidence that Iran's nuclear program was fully destroyed. Some parts of the underground sites were reportedly still partially operational. And the same goes for Israel. Despite Netanyahu's claims of a decisive victory, over 30 Iranian missiles got through Israel's defenses and hit civilian and strategic sites. The damage to infrastructure and the economy is estimated in the billions. But in war, the real winner isn't always the side that causes the most destruction. It's the side that knows how to use its power wisely. A narrative is forming fast, and right now both Tehran and Jerusalem are locked in a media war just as intense as the one on the ground. In Iran, people are celebrating what they see as a huge victory. In Revolution Square, thousands chant national songs, waving flags that say, "Oh Hussein, we are ready to sacrifice." But behind the celebrations, the situation is far from perfect. Power outages are hitting many cities, hospitals are running low on medical supplies, and thousands of families are still without shelter after their homes were destroyed in American and Israeli airstrikes. Meanwhile, in Israel, Netanyahu is using this victory to shift public attention away from Gaza and the internal crisis he's facing. He's using the moment to repair his damaged image after massive protests and political instability. According to a Mariv poll, his Likud party gained support equivalent to 5 Knesset seats in just 3 days. Victory, it seems, is being used as a political tool, both in Tehran and in Jerusalem. This war hasn't just been about defeating the enemy, it's also been about uniting public opinion that had become deeply divided. But one big question still hangs in the air. Iranians take to the streets in celebration. Netanyahu stands confidently at the podium. 2 countries, 2 celebrations. But who's the real winner? Is it the one who wins over public opinion, the one who scores at the diplomatic table, or is it the one who simply survives when everything collapses? The guns may have fallen silent for now, but this is far from peace. American and Israeli fleets are still on high alert in the Red Sea. Drones continue to fly over Iraq, Lebanon, and Syria. Radar systems are scanning 24/7. Missiles remain armed and ready. Now that the skies have darkened and the bombs have stopped falling, all that's left is silence and pain. In Tehran and Jerusalem, the cheers are fading. The victory speeches are growing quiet. Because for those who lost everything, there's no such thing as victory in war. Maybe this ceasefire is just a pause, but inside it lies a bit of hope. Hope that these 2 nations, after hurting each other so deeply, can choose to stop before it's too late. Because real strength doesn't come from how hard you can hit. It comes from the courage it takes to make peace. Maybe now is the time for both Iran and Israel, not to destroy but to build. Thanks for watching. We appreciate your time. Please subscribe to S News, hit the like button, leave a comment, and stay tuned.